So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the follow-up to Piscifun's best-selling reel, the Torrent. Now, a few years ago, I remember seeing Piscifun posting on social media that they had sold over 50,000 Torrent reels, which is a staggering amount. Leave a comment if you're one of those who bought the original Torrent. Now, Piscifun is a company that has always given the angler high-spec reels for an extremely affordable cost. And we're going to see if they continue that trend with their most affordable reel, the Torrent 2. Now, depending on where and when you buy the Torrent 2, the price can range from $45 all the way down to the low 30s if you catch it on sale on Amazon. Now, when I opened the box, I was really surprised to see how well the Torrent 2 was packaged, especially for such a budget reel. It's packaged better than any current SHIMANO or DAIWA that I can remember. As you can see, it uses protective foam to hold the reel secure in the box. Now, the Torrent 2 actually comes in two color options, and you can see that my reel is two-tone green and black, just like the current CURADO M, but the green is definitely more noticeable, and I think the CURADO M should have used a brighter green like the Torrent 2. Now, if you don't like green, it also comes in all black. Now, taking a closer look at the Torrent 2, it's a good looking reel with a nice aggressive shape, being wider at the back and tapering off at the front. And because this is a very budget conscious reel, of course the frame and side plates are going to be made of graphite. But I'm glad to say that the reel feels really solid and well made. It definitely feels better than the first Torrent. Now, here's something that surprised me. Everything on the Torrent clicks. The drag star clicks, the brake dial clicks, and even the cast control knob clicks. And these clicks on the cast control are precise and close together, not sloppy and mushy like some much more expensive reels that I have. So that is definitely a pleasant surprise. Speaking of the brake dial, it is a very attractive looking one with a black ring around it to give it some contrast against the green. And it's got bright silver numbers that are fairly easy to read, and you can see it has a bright silver, very large indicator notch painted on the dial itself, so it's very easy to see what brake setting that you're on. The clicks of the brake dial feel nice and positive as well for a budget reel. There's also just the right amount of silver accents to contrast the green and black, like the rim of the spool. The spool tension knob has silver accents as well, and the handle nut and retainer are both silver. Now, the only negative I found is a minor one. The issue is that while the thumb bar is nice and firm with no mush, there is a lot of free play going side to side and up and down. Now, I'm not sure if all Torrent 2 reels have this issue or not, or if it's just mine. Let me know in the comments if any of you have this reel and have the same issue with your thumb bar. Now, size-wise, the Torrent 2 is more on the medium to large size. It's decently comfortable to palm when mounted on a rod, but it is on the tall side of reels. As far as weight goes, Piscifun says 6.75 ounces, and that's pretty much accurate. So now it's time to get to the heart of any reel, the spool and brakes. We're going to see what Piscifun has equipped the Torrent 2 with. Now, checking out the brakes, I expected the Torrent 2 to have mag-track style brakes, which it does, but I was pleasantly surprised to see that these mag-track brakes are the kind where the magnets are on both sides of the brake hub instead of just on one side like most MagTrack style systems. Now the significance of this is that from my testing, this magnet configuration seems to give a casting feel closer to that of centrifugal brakes. Now when I pull the spool out, I have to admit it feels really heavy. It's got a long spool shaft and I can tell it's pretty tall, but it's actually not that deep. It turns out the spool is a whopping 36 millimeters, and according to the box, it does hold a ton of line. It does sport a spool bearing, and the weight of the spool is 16.91 grams, which is actually a lot lighter than I thought it was going to be. I figured it would be closer to 18 to 20 grams, so this is a nice surprise. Now without the spool bearing, the weight comes in at a pretty average 15.74 grams, which is actually great for a reel this low priced. So how does the Torrent 2 compare to the reel that it's targeting, the Abu Garcia Black Max 4? Well, the Black Max is actually heavier in weight at 7.42 ounces, despite being a smaller reel, and despite having a much smaller 32 millimeter spool, it weighs about the same as the Torrent 2 at 15.7 grams. So it turns out, on paper, the Torrent compares favorably against the Black Max. So there we have it, the Piscifun Torrent 2. Now, while it doesn't offer quite as much bang for your buck as some of Piscifun's more expensive reels, like the Carbon XCS or Alloy M, for its price class, it actually still gives you quite a lot. It has clicking components, a solid build quality, a respectable spool weight, and the reel itself is lighter than its competition from both KASTKING and the Abu Garcia Black Max. So next up, what I want to do is do a cast comparison versus the Black Max 4 and see if the different magnet configuration on the Torrent 2 will offer a different casting experience. Now the Torrent 2 has been out for quite a while, probably at least a year or more. So let me know in the comments if you have one and what you think of it. Alright guys, thanks a lot.